Well, welcome to my most controversial video to date. That's right, we're doing it. Masturbation and spirituality. Let me first start off by saying this video is based off of my truth. The world according to Kadeem, based off of things that I've learned, based off of things that I've received, based off of my trainings. Realize also, this video says masturbation and spirituality. It does not say masturbation in the Bible. It does not say masturbation in the Torah. It does not say masturbation in the Quran. I'm talking about spirituality here, not focusing specifically on the various religious sects, because in realizing that religion is great. It has a place, it's beautiful, it's helped a lot of people. I was born into a Christian household. Religion is fantastic. I believe, however, that spirituality looks at all these religions, finds what's similar, and uses that as the key to help people unlock their true divine benefits. All right? So we're focusing specifically on the spirituality, not the religious nature of what religious texts might say about masturbation. So, before maybe we go into some spiritual stuff, maybe we need to go into a bit of the science. So, when you masturbate, different things happen in the brain. Serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter to make people feel happy. Dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter to make people feel a sense of like hype and goodness because they're receiving a reward. Also, another neurotransmitter known as oxytocin, which is known as the bonding or love hormone. These things are released after you ejaculate. So essentially with masturbation, you are getting these scientific proven benefits after you ejaculate. Now, like any and everything, moderation. So should someone be having sex 4 or 5 times a day, every day? That may not be healthy for the everyday average person. Maybe some people can do it, but I don't think most should be doing that. Because, and I'll get to this later about like creative energy and sexual energy and why that's important to also have. Other things, if someone is drinking 5 or 6 times a day, every day, is that healthy? Probably not. Especially like if your consistency on doing certain things, it's done in a way where it takes you away from like family, from friends, your obligations, from work, from career. Like that's when things become like not healthy. So in the same way, masturbation, if done in moderation, is actually pretty good. Masturbation also helps to release a lot of stress, energy. Back in 2018, Hawaii, there was a threat in Hawaii that went out through text message that said, or supposed threat that went out through text message that said, beware, become sheltered, find a shelter, because there's going to be a nuclear explosion coming from North Korea. Everyone in Hawaii received this text message saying it's now a state of emergency, find shelter in place, essentially. People in Hawaii lost their minds. Of course. Who wouldn't lose their minds after they find out, oh my gosh, what? I'm about to be maybe nuked by a missile that's coming in like the next half an hour? Of course. Then it went out later on about a message maybe a few minutes later that said, actually, it's a lie. Sorry, false alarm. What happened was, when that message went out to the people of Hawaii about it's a false alarm, from that moment up until 15, 20 minutes after that, the website Pornhub, which is known for porn, spiked up by 48% more than usual. Why is that? Because people were masturbating. That's why. People were so stressed out that they found a way to release their stress through masturbation. Masturbation is a really great stress reliever. That's the science, okay? You can look it up if you want to. Now, looking at it in the aspect of spirituality, you have your sexual energy, your sex chakra, for those that know chakras, or your sexual energy center. This energy center is used for different things. It's used for, of course, procreation. It's used for, yes, sexual activity, but it's also used as well for creation, for being very creative as well. The sexual energy center or chakra is connected to the throat energy center or chakra. The throat energy center or chakra has many sort of functionalities, one of which has to do with clarity of speech, has to do with details, having it's kind of like a strong eye for detail, but it's like the lower aspect of details. Up here in the middle of the eyebrow is the second sort of higher aspect of details. But the throat is also connected to creativity. The throat and sex chakra are very connected. So usually when one is out of balance, so is the other one. So if you're someone that has all this sexual energy, you might also be very creative, and vice versa. If you're very creative, you might notice that you have a lot of sexual energy because they go hand in hand. Here's the thing. If you do not know how to release the sexual energy or the creative energy in a healthy way, that energy chakra, the energy center, becomes very congested and it becomes heavy because you're not releasing the energy when it needs to be released. Just think about it this way. You eat a lot, you eat a lot, you eat a lot. After you eat, what happens after a few hours? You have to expel, right? You go to the bathroom, take a number 2. Boop, 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 goes down in the toilet. In the same way, we are taking in and we have a lot of creative energies that we're taking in on a day-to-day basis and that are just attached to us based on maybe what we do, the things we enjoy, and also other sexual energies. And if we don't have a way to release that energy, it gets congested. Imagine if you kept eating, but you didn't go to the bathroom. What would happen? You get very sick. In the same way, if you don't find a way to release this sexual energy, you can also get sick. Hence why we have all these situations that came out many years ago about priests. How priests were attacking boys and abusing them. Now, why is that? Is it just because, priests are all pedophiles? That's not true. It's because the sexual energy was not being released. So what happened was, if sexual energy is not released, it essentially becomes, It essentially becomes something that's not seen as great, almost seen as like being perverted, essentially. So you have these priests who are very sexually frustrated. They have access to these boys. Okay, I'm not really a pedophile, but hey, there's a boy here. I'm going to use this person to release my perversion. In the same way, excuse me, getting over a little cold. It's not COVID, getting over a little something. In the same way, men that are sometimes in jail, they may not be gay, but they tend to have sex with other men that might be in the cell with them or in jail with them. Or they might find a connection with another man in there, and that person might become their partner while they're in jail. Is it because they're gay? Inherently, no. But because they don't have a way to necessarily release the energy, sexual energy, in the way that they need to. So they do other things to find ways to cope and to deal with it. And for them, that's having sex with other men in prison. So there are ways, though, to what's called transmute this sexual energy so that it can be used for higher creativity, for more divine, higher spiritual downloads. Most people don't know that. You also don't hear this, but this is a fact, is that priests have a very high rate of having prostate issues. Nuns have a very high rate of having issues with their womanly stuff down there. And they get, what's the word? They get, there's a word for this, a surgery that women get when the stuff down there, when it's kind of taken out. What is it called? Vasectomy. Vasectomy. So essentially, what's happening is, we're not realizing this, is that priests and nuns aren't necessarily having any sexual activity. They're told they can't masturbate, and it's essentially coming out in other ways. Or there's an energetic blockage that's down there that then affects them physically. So there's a reason why priests and nuns were told initially many, many years ago not to masturbate, not to have sex, because they were using that sexual energy, that creative energy, to receive divine insight, to receive divine downloads. Over time, those secrets went away. People weren't studying certain truths anymore. Those things went away. And now priests and nuns are, having a really hard time. But no one talks about that. My food's ready. I just wanted to make this video just to show and to say that masturbation is healthy. It's healthy in a way that is done in moderation. It is healthy if it's done in a way that allows you to enjoy yourself, but for you to also realize, what are some things that I enjoy? Self-pleasuring yourself, you get a chance to realize, okay, do I enjoy this? Do I not enjoy this? What do I like about my body? What are certain things, what are my triggering points that I really like and that I enjoy? So masturbation is very healthy. And again, masturbation, when used properly and in a good way, helps to release sexual energy so that you're not stagnating and sort of having this congestion of energy in your sexual energy center. Now, for those that are like, I still don't want to masturbate, I can't masturbate, it's still not good, the Bible says this book says that, masturbation. For those that have those particular connections to masturbation, there's another video that maybe I will make about how you can find out and how you can learn ways to actually transmute the sexual energy and to use it to essentially feed your higher center so that you can have a deeper connection to the universe and to God. But that's another video for another time. Anyway, this was a rant on masturbation, it feels, in a very basic level on thing, because I wanted to say more, but realized I can't because this is a very open and public forum. But there are other deeper truths regarding spirituality and masturbation and sexuality and sexual energy that maybe I'll go in another video or a course or a class of mine. Anyway, I think that's all for now. Let me go get my food. And let me do this now because I want this to be the thumbnail for my video. Okay. Thank you. Bye.